Ladies and gentlemen, this is Lions Den with another news and commentary. Dallas police is preparing the outcome just in case if Amber Guyger will be acquitted of the shooting death of Botham Jean. This article comes from News One, and it says that officers were reported giving their orders in two separate memos last week. It says, while local media was busy worrying about whether Amber Guyger can get a fair trial for killing Botham Jean last year, officers with the Dallas Police Department have reportedly gotten orders that make it seem as if leadership was expecting the former cop to be acquitted. Jury selection for the long-awaiting trial was scheduled to start Friday, exactly 1 year after Guyger illegally entered John's own apartment and shot him on sight the night of September 6, 2018. Orders came down from the department's top brass last week with no officers will be given any additional time off until the trial ends, according to WFAA, the local ABC affiliate in Dallas. But it was another order given to the rank that could be interpreted as the expectation of an acquittal. Detectives were also told to have their uniforms, get this guys, gas masks, helmets, and other gear ready, WFAA wrote, citing separate memos from the higher up. And I'm going to stop you right there. Now, you seeing what they're trying to do now. They're trying to, and I think they know something from higher up that this is going to happen, right? They probably know that Amber Guyger could be acquitted. So they're not going to waste any time. So they're going to try to get gas masks and full riot gear just in case that, the protesters or Black Lives Matter are going out there protesting in the reaction of the acquittal of Amber Guyger. So they fear that it could be riots between the Dallas and Fort Worth area. So they're trying to make steps to make sure that this, just in case something happened, they will protect the buildings of the city of Dallas. It's going to be a big mess. So I think either they knew it's going to be a not guilty verdict, or they're planning to have a not guilty verdict. So the Dallas police is now trying to focus on setting themselves up, getting prepared for a possible riot if Amber Guyger is found not guilty. And I'm going to continue reading this. It said the message taken together, no more time off, and get your equipment ready, could be a sign that Dallas police leadership were not only prepared for Guyger to be found not guilty, but also for a potential riot in the aftermath of an acquittal. The move is to make sure the city has enough resources to protect it, Taryn Hopkins, president of the Black Police Association of Greater Dallas, told WFAA. Hopkins' words were telling in that a guilty verdict will likely bring about rejoicing and not violence. In theory, the only thing to officers would need gas masks, helmets, and other gear ready to protect Dallas would come after an acquittal and a not guilty verdict. Those orders to police came before Dallas News reported on Tuesday that people who seem extremely pro-police or highly sympathetic to the cause of groups such as Black Lives Matter will not be selected as potential jurors in a murder case. Ladies and gentlemen, and I'm going to stop you right there. That tells me right there that they're planning on doing something. They're planning on getting all white jurors in this case to acquit this woman. That's what it looks like to me. So again, this could be another Ferguson or another Baltimore. If they're trying to put all white jurors, and this is how they're going to try to do it. If they can't get a fair trial, and this is why I know Amber Guyger's attorney is trying to get a change of venue. They try to get away from Dallas County, where the trial's supposed to be located at. They're going to try to move from Dallas County up to another county where they're going to easily have a white jurors, like they did with the Rodney King beating trial a couple decades ago, when you have 4 white police officers and they moved from Los Angeles to Simi Valley. This is what's going to happen here in Dallas. They're going to try to make sure that this woman is going to found not guilty, because they're going to feel sympathetic to the officers, feel sympathetic to the woman, and they're gonna let this woman go. So the Dallas police is wasting no time right now. They said that they're gonna have no time off. They're gonna try to now have all the police as they can, possibly even National Guards as they can, just in case a possible riot happened in the city of Dallas. Unbelievable. So I'm gonna continue reading this. It said many people who have been following this case from the beginning have said they don't trust law enforcement and courts in Dallas to bring justice to the John family. That was true again last month when Guyger appeared in a court late last month when her defense lawyers and prosecutors agreed not to make reference to her employment status during the trial. It was unclear if that meant that lawyers wouldn't say that Guyger, 31, was off duty when she shot John, who was just 26 years old when he died. It may have been referring to her being fired from the Dallas Police Department or perhaps both. They said that court appearance followed District Judge Tammy Kemp delaying her ruling on a change of venue motion. She wrote in a separate ruling that she will only decide whether a new location was warranted once the process of questioning prospective jurors is completed or it becomes apparent during the interviews that a fair and impartial jury cannot be selected in Dallas County due to pervasive publicity in this case. So what they're trying to do, and this judge is basically being patient because they know that if they put like Black Lives Matter in the jury, that's when Judge Tammy Kemp gonna say, no, we're gonna have a change of venue. We're gonna go outside of Dallas County, and that's what Amber Guyger's attorney wanted it. They want to have a change of venue. They have all white jurors in this trial. And so, and I think that the Dallas police know about this, and that's why a lot of people in the black community in the Dallas area could not trust the police, let alone the criminal justice system down there, because they're gonna pull something like this out of the hat. So this is gonna be, we have to watch this very carefully, ladies and gentlemen, because if District Judge Tammy Kemp decided to have a change of venue, we already know what's going to happen there. We already know that she's going to be acquitted. They doing the same thing with, remember, a lot of people don't remember because I know some of y'all haven't born in 1991, 92 year. That's what happened when Rodney King got beat up by the LAPD, and the LAPD feared that the 4 white police officers that was acquitted at that time. They feared that before then that they're not gonna have a fair trial in Los Angeles. So what they did was they had a change of venue in Simi Valley with all white jurors in that place, and that's why you see Los Angeles was in flames at that time. So the Dallas police don't want to have a quote unquote deja vu in that city. So that's why they're doing this. So I'm going to go ahead and continue reading this. It says the last sentence seemed to imply that Kemp believes that a fair and impartial jury can still be selected in Dallas County. The location of the trial is key to both the defense, and the prosecution because of how much rare factor into this case. The defense team wasn't the only group that wanted to make sure Guyger got a fair trial. Local media in Dallas has produced a host of news articles and editorials about the same thing as opposed to the dearth of coverage centered on whether justice will be served for John. So in other words, the media is involved in this as well. So the media wanted to be fair and impartial as well, because they don't want to support the John family, or they want to support the Dallas police officer that was responsible of killing both of John. I'll go ahead and read this. It said, convicting an officer of murder is extremely rare, especially when it comes to the victim being black. The NYPD officer who used an illegal chokehold to kill Eric Gardner was fired Monday as his only true discipline for taking the life of an unarmed black man. That delayed termination came more than 5 years after killing took place in broad daylight. Since 2005, only 33 law enforcement officers have been convicted of a crime resulting from an on-duty shooting where someone was killed, NBC News reported. A white police officer in Texas who killed an unarmed black 15-year-old child after shooting into a car carrying a group of teenagers, was found guilty last year, making him only the second police officer in nearly 15 years to be convicted of the murder. And still, that cop, Roy Oliver, got a light sentence that will allow the possibility of parole after serving just 7.5 years. On the night of September 6, Guyger claimed that following a long day on the job as a Dallas police officer, she somehow mistook his apartment for her own and after ordering John not to move, shot him twice before realizing the error of her ways. Her story was met with doubt because of the number of factors, including and especially her assertion that John's door was ajar. Video posted on social media by neighbors appeared to show that apartment doors in the building shut automatically after being released, and an indication that Guyger might have lied about that. But then there's some unanswered questions. Now the media try to smear, and I'm gonna stop you right there and I'm gonna finish this article. The media trying to basically smear Botham Jean, saying he had marijuana in his apartment. Whether if he has marijuana or not, what does this have to do with Amber Guyger shot and killed the brother in his own apartment? Then there's stories that they're finding a police equipment in Botham Jean's apartment, tried to distract what's really the big situation here, that Amber Guyger killed an unarmed black man in his own apartment. So they put all these stories when it comes to Botham Jean having marijuana in his system, or having marijuana in his apartment, or having a police, and this is what's question mark right there, they have police equipment, whether it's helmet, his tactical gear in his apartment. And whether or not, and then there's another question though, did Botham Jean and Amber Guyger had a relationship outside of that? Had they known each other? See, all these unanswered questions is trying to distract the real truth that this woman shot and killed Botham Jean. So, and I'm going to finish this article. It said, in addition to inconsistencies in her alibis, which have changed several times, Dallas police, of which Guyger was a member for 5 years before being fired, appeared to be helping to cover up the shooting for their colleague. The department was accused of allowing Guyger enough time to scrub her social media accounts and get her story straight before turning herself in 3 days after killing John. It also gave Guyger enough time to move out of her apartment, which was never searched by police despite 5 warrants allowing to do so. And that is the end of the article. See, ladies and gentlemen, the Dallas police is trying to be slick about this case, right? They're trying to basically prepare. I guess they know something that the people in the public doesn't know. That means that it got to be a corruption with the criminal justice system in a Dallas court and with the Dallas Police Department, which means that it's probably corruption on both sides. So they probably knew that she's going to be acquitted. So the cops decided not to take time off. They would have to have full riot gear prepared just in case it'll be a riot in Dallas. So this is really basically, and these police officers already probably knew what is going to happen, because it's got to be corruption in the court system as well as the Dallas Police Department when it comes to the Botham Jean Amber Guyger case. So really means that Amber Guyger, according to the Dallas Police Department, and they prepared themselves, that it could have been acquitted in the making. That she gonna be found not guilty, and then a lot of black protesters are gonna be outraged, and they're gonna take it to the streets, and stuff like this will happen. So at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, this is what's going on. And tomorrow is a pretrial hearing, which is the 1-year anniversary of the shooting death of Botham Jean by Amber Guyger. So what they're trying to do is, the Dallas police will not have no days off during this trial is happening, because they probably know, and probably the Dallas police and the criminal justice system know that she's gonna be found not guilty. Don't you worry about it. So we're gonna be prepared just in case these people they're gonna call them animals, but just because these animals are acting up in our city, we're gonna protect the buildings and all the neighborhoods from that happening. Y'all tell me what you think about the story. Like, click, subscribe, and remember to click the notification bell for all the news and commentary. And with that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.